Right, so hey, I'm Stephan Janssen. I'm here at DevNexus together with Harry. How are you, man?
Good, I'm good.
Man, this is quite an experience.
Yes, it is.
This interview is like, it's like cursed.
Deja vu.
People are running in front of the camera, the battery goes down, so this one should really be good. Huh?
Yeah, hopefully.
Had a good time. It's your first time at DevNexus, right?
First time here, yeah, and I'm really amazed. Really amazed.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's lots of people, they have the right vibe. I mean, you told me like it feels like DevOps, right? It's like
DevOps in the US.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Who knows, right?
Yeah, who knows?
But yeah, it's it's the Atlanta Java user group. They have a low entrance fee. They grow every year. They have 1,500. It feels very informal. It feels really good.
Yeah, and for us, I mean, I'm speaking here, but we're also exhibiting, and people are like, oh wow, finally JetBrains has come out here. I'm like, oh, okay, great. We should come out more often.
Yeah, that's good.
So
you had 2 sessions yesterday, right?
Yeah, I had one which was refactoring to functional in the morning, and then in the afternoon I had a gentle introduction to reactive extensions.
Yeah. And so can you give me a bit of the functional one? What is it about?
So it's basically it's the concept of using functions as your primitive building blocks to gain some value from your code. So I approach functional programming not from a mathematical approach, but try and see how it can add value to my everyday life, right? Yeah. So how can it help me write more concise code, more clear code, more understandable code? And I set out to see if really functional programming provides me some of this value, and I saw, hey, it actually does. Yeah. So it's basically the concept of thinking about functions as your primitive building block, as opposed to having to think about everything in terms of classes and objects. Also consider functions as first-class citizens.
Yeah.
So that's the gist of it, kind of.
I mean, IntelliJ does a great job there. I mean, I was telling that in the previous interview as well, that I opened up an old project which was in Java 6 or something, and it was really already auto-suggesting, enhancements, and that was really, it's like, lead by example. It really showed me like, hey, this is how you should do it now. And then you start looking at it and try to understand what it suggests, and I love that. Yeah,
and we've had that. We've had Java 8 support for some time now. And now that Java 8 does support Lambda expressions and higher order functions, so you can pass in functions to functions, return functions. People are starting to use it, and it's a great way to introduce people to new constructs. We did the same thing with ReSharper, which is our .NET one, many years ago, and C# introduced this concept under the name LINQ, right? Language integrated query. Yeah. So we had this option which was convert to LINQ, and people went wild, right? They were just like doing convert to LINQ, and then you ended up from readable code to unreadable code with all of this. They were overdoing it. So we actually introduced another feature which was like convert back from LINQ.
Seriously?
Yeah. Because again, and we were talking about this before. It's great that IntelliJ, ReSharper, all of these suggest things to you, but it's very important to understand what it's suggesting, why you're doing it. Don't follow blindly. Exactly. Yeah. It's always contextual. Like they say, every best practice is a best practice in a specific context with a series of conditions. Yeah. Not always.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and it's important to know that. And we get sometimes we get pushback of like, people that use your tools, they don't understand the language. That's not the tools. That is, you as an individual have to understand what you're doing, not just follow blindly. Yeah. Right? So.
Yeah. And so, I was really happy when also Google announced Android Studio, because I'm an IntelliJ person, I've been using that for many, many years. And it's like, wow, they're even, taking that base and then moving it to Android to support with Gradle and all of that. I mean, you guys must have been really...
it was so hard for us to keep that secret. It was so hard. It's just like, counting the days for the Google I/O to start, and we're like, yes, finally the cat's out of the bag. It was great. Yeah, and we've had a tremendous good impact with that. The 10 downloads have gone up. I think the user base is growing because of it. This is objective in the sense that, they're not reports done by us, but we're around 35% or something like that, apparently, of the market share.
Wow.
So that's quite good, considering that the alternatives are free products. Yeah. And it's growing daily, so touch wood. So it's been a good experience. Yeah.
And you guys support so many languages. I mean, Java is one of them, but you have Scala, you have Kotlin, and so on. It's a really polyglot development environment.
Yeah. And it, it's catering to the needs of what's happening. I mean, you and I have been around in this business for a long time, and we see that people are moving out of a single language platform niche to start to, work with multiple languages. Yeah. And just like, Vim and Emacs allow you to, leverage your skills using different languages, we're trying to provide that same experience. Have a single platform, which is IntelliJ. On top of that, build different IDEs. If you're just doing web, you use WebStorm. If you're doing Python, you use PyCharm. But if you're doing multiple languages, that's where IntelliJ comes in. Yeah. Because you do Scala, as you say, Kotlin, Clojure, HTML, JavaScript, anything you want, right? And just know the environment and leverage what you know.
A one-stop shop, basically.
One-stop shop. Yeah.
So you had another talk yesterday on reactive.
Yes.
Can you talk quickly, just to summarize a bit?
So reactive is kind of like taking it to the next level. So we're talking about functional programming and functions being the primitive building block. Reactive is all about a stream, about continuous data coming in. As Eric Meyer said, what is the difference between an array and events? If you actually think about it, there isn't really. Events occur over a period of time. So reactive programming, which originated by Eric Meyer from C#, was about, it's an enhanced observable pattern whereby you subscribe to data and then act on those. Mm-hmm. And then you can use functional constructs to build pipelines. So where this is really shining is in asynchronous programming. Mm-hmm. Instead of using language features like async await in C# or futures or the futures classes or promises or callbacks, you can now use a uniform API across different languages, because reactive extensions is available on RX Java, which is the implementation by the Netflix guys, by Ben Christensen. Yeah. Now open source, completely being used by implementations for different languages. It's on C#, on JavaScript. So
it's really hot. There's a lot of buzz around it.
It's a lot of buzz around it. And we love to jump on the bandwagon, don't we?
But IntelliJ doesn't give any added spice to this, right? It's just Java.
It's just Java code, yeah. Not beyond
business as usual.
Yeah, not beyond helping you with functions and refactoring to functional parameters or refactoring to the new Java 8 Lambda constructs and that. Yes, in that sense, yes, because reactive is a lot about functional programming as well. Yeah. So in that sense it helps, but beyond that, no. It's just concept. It's just a concept of a way to program.
So another question that popped in my mind is the next Java 9 version with Jigsaw and modularity. Are you guys going to be being involved with IntelliJ? Are there any?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean,
how do you see that? Can you elaborate a bit on that?
Well, I know that we're looking at already features of Java 9, and we work quite closely with some people at Oracle, and a lot of people, when we came out with Kotlin, they kind of said they felt a little bit strange, why is a tool vendor coming out with a language on their own? Our exclusive reason for Kotlin is for our own use. We just make it open source because nowadays, unless you're Apple, you don't release a language that's not open source, right? Mm-hmm. But we're not naive to believe that the world is going to switch to Kotlin. So we are still pushing way forward with Java. Java is our biggest user base, and we're going to continue to support Java. Scala, right? The IntelliJ team, if we say there are around 25 people working on just the IntelliJ idea, not the platform, IntelliJ idea, 5 of them are just working on the Scala. Right?
Wow.
So,
Yeah, but the user base of Scala is a lot bigger than
exactly.
Kotlin. And it reminds me Kotlin, I put it all next to Ceylon as well. It's a really niche, right?
It's right now. We haven't even released it yet. Yeah. But in sense of absolutely moving forward Java 9, absolutely moving forward Scala, with Groovy, with all of the different languages. Yeah. And we're going to continue to do that, right?
Cool.
Yeah.
So we're going to see each other next month in Paris.
Absolutely.
DevNexus France.
I'm following you around.
No, I'm a groupie of you. But looking at the number of views you get on parlays, I should be the groupie, not the reverse.
Yeah. So we're going there.
You're probably doing the same talks.
Yeah, I'm doing. I'm one of them is the same, and the other one is still working out the details on it.
Yeah.
But yeah. And it's grown. It's grown a lot.
I'm really excited. It's the new venue, Palais de Congrès.
Yeah.
And it's huge, eh? I
Yeah.
mean, they sold out last week. They got 2,200 people all in.
Yeah.
It's amazing. They said like, we want to stop at 2,000 because it's a new venue, new dynamics as well, and so on. But it can scale. I mean, personally, I think they will become bigger than Belgium. I mean, the French, it's a huge community.
Well, the last year and the year before, it was like it started to feel really tight in the venue, right? Really tight.
Oh,
yeah. And I was actually really relieved that they said we're going to a new venue.
Yeah.
And then you guys have I'm also going to DevOps Poland, so that's the new one.
Yeah. Well, the franchise is expanding. It's crazy. But people are like knocking on my door, like, we really love that. We would like to join the family, and they're just like a lot of them are reaching out to me now. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Well, you're doing a great job.
The love, man.
You're doing a great job.
Well,
so
thank you very much.
Keep it up.
So I will see each other next month in Paris, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.